Good morning, friends. It is Thursday, November 1st. Wow, I just realized that. Happy November. I wanted to take a minute here while driving into work to answer a question that was asked by a friend of mine and someone I get to train at the gym. And the question is about guilt with food, basically. Here's the gist of this person's question. I eat completely clean, and then one day a month, for a holiday or for some special occasion, I eat whatever I want. Obviously, I feel sick the next day, which I understand because my body's used to being clean, but mentally, I cannot get over the guilt of making bad food choices that day. So, my approach to this question is not going to be a scientific one, and I'm not going to answer why you feel guilty. Real helpful, right? But what I am going to do is address my own personal experiences with that same type of battle, and then share some stories from other friends and coworkers and colleagues and other people I know who have gone through the same type of thing. First of all, most people in CrossFit who are serious about their diet follow the paleo diet, right? Basically, if it was around 10,000 years ago, you eat it. No processed foods, little starches, basically no sugar, aside from some natural sugars that are found in fruit and whatnot. So that's paleo. There's also a different diet that CrossFit promotes, I guess, still, and I learned about actually in high school through my swim coach, which is the zone diet. And the zone diet is less about the quality of the food, which is what paleo prescribes, but it's about the quantity of food. So you break down every single meal into a certain percentage of carbs, proteins, and fats, right? With that school of thought, the strictly zone school of thought, you can basically eat anything. So in Nicole Carroll's paleo video from CrossFit HQ from a couple of years ago, she said, does that mean you can make your diet based on beer and ground beef? I guess if it weighs out in the proper proportions. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could, right? So I tried that. I tried the zone for a while, and what happened to me was the work required to weigh and measure my food was so much that I began to resent food. I'd go out with friends for lunch, for dinner, and they would have whatever they wanted to eat, but since I was zoning, I basically could have salad with chicken only at a restaurant, for example, right? It got to be unfun, and I started to not enjoy food. So I stopped doing zone, because for me, it wasn't worth it to be resentful and stressed all the time, because I wanted to get healthier, but I didn't want food to take over my life. So I went more paleo. It's fine, I'm less stressed. My friends who are strict paleo and then take a cheat meal, one of two things has happened usually. Either they're super strict, then they jump on to the cheat wagon, and then I addressed this in the last video saying, a cheat meal and cheat day are two different things in terms of what your goals are. If you want a cheat meal, that's great. But you don't necessarily have to go an entire day of eating foods that are considered non-paleo, because the impact that's going to have is going to be significant than having, say, a couple slices of pizza. But depending on what your goals are, my underlying theme and the thing that I say all the time is do what you want. If your goal is elite fitness and pristine health, you should probably stay paleo 100% of the time. I also have friends who are strict paleo 99% of the time, and then that one day they just go for it. There's that picture that's out there on Facebook from the Stuff CrossFit Girls Say video, where the person's sitting on the couch with, a whole pizza, bags of chips, a huge cooking spoon, dipped in a bowl of ice cream, and it says, "What? It's my cheat meal." I mean, if that's what you want to do, go for it. So my advice in closing is the guilt for me was something I couldn't deal with. So I stopped dealing with it. I eat what I want, when I want. I'm aware of the consequences of putting stuff that's less than healthy into my body. I know there's times that I'm going to eat something and not feel great about it, but to me it was worth it at the time. And there'll be other times where I'll look at a plate of food and go, that's going to make me sick, and that's not worth it. Right? I want your goal in CrossFit, your goal in health, your goal in nutrition to be, my goals are to be X. I'm willing to take Y, Z steps to get there, and I'm going to enjoy myself as much as possible along the way. Hope that helps. Please let me know if it does or doesn't. And if you have any specific questions, in terms of why your body's reacting a certain way, let me know. But I think it was more the mental piece, and that's the way I approach things. So I hope that helps. Bye.